Once upon a time, a group of friends decided to try something they had never done before. Have you ever heard of a Ouija board? It's a game where some people believe you can talk to ghosts. But it's just a game, right? Or is it? So, two best friends were curious and wanted to give it a try. They asked two more friends to join them because they heard that the game might not work with just two people. At first, the other two friends didn't want to join in. They were scared and thought it was a bad idea. But after a lot of convincing, they finally agreed. Do you think something spooky will happen? They all sat down, prepared everything, and started the game. They were all a little nervous. The room was quiet and they waited for something to happen. But nothing did. Time passed and one of the girls got frustrated. "This is silly, I'm leaving," she said and stormed out of the room. The other girls felt uneasy, so they decided to stop the game and try another day. A few days later, the girl who left early called her friend, sounding very scared. "What do you think happened to her?" She said that while she was walking home from the library, she passed by an old abandoned house near her home. Suddenly, a little girl, dressed all in white, appeared in front of her and asked, "Would you like to play with me?" The friend, in a hurry to get home, said no. But then something strange happened. The little girl started crying tears of blood. Terrified, the girl ran all the way home and immediately called her friend to tell her what happened. Now, would you believe such a story? At first, the friend thought it was just a joke, but the more she thought about it, the more it seemed like her friend was telling the truth. Could the Ouija game they played have something to do with it? That night, she tried to forget about it and went to sleep. The next day, her scared friend called again. This time, she didn't want to be alone at home. She asked if her friend could come over and study with her. The friend agreed and went over to her house. They started studying together, trying not to think about what had happened. But then, they heard a strange noise behind them. It sounded like scratching. What could it be? They turned around slowly, and there, on the bed, was the little girl dressed in white, just as the friend had described. She was scratching the wall with her nails. Terrified, the two friends ran out of the room. But when they reached the door, the friend who had seen the girl first was missing. The other girl was so scared that she ran out of the house without looking back. Later that day, the police came to the girl's house with some terrible news. Her friend had been found dead on the stairs of her house. She had an asthma attack, and the look on her face showed she had been very, very scared. The girl was heartbroken and had to go to the doctor to help her feel better after all that had happened. Do you think the story ends here? Just as she was starting to feel better, the girl found a note in her mailbox. It was written in the handwriting of a little child, and it said, "Your friend died because she didn't want to play with me. Now I have a new doll." What do you think? Was it just a prank? Or is there something more to this story? And most importantly, will the little girl come back to play with her?